Hi, hello, this is Jules the Human here from the Texas Music Spotlight. I am here with another episode of our live music podcast that we do every Wednesday, and we release that on SoundCloud on Fridays. Uh, Today, we have a very special guest. I have Jeff Wood here. Jeff, welcome to the podcast.
Hi. Aren't they all special though?
What was that?
Aren't all the guests special?
Oh, yeah, duh. I mean, they're musicians. It's great. I'm a musician. It's great. Yeah, Jeff, how you been? How's your day? How's your day going?
Been a good day. Can't
Yeah,
complain. Live.
awesome. So I'm gonna have you go ahead and jump into a song real quick. What are you gonna be playing first?
This is a song on my album. It's called The Great Escape, and this song is called The Savior's Son.
Awesome. Take it away.
I'm no longer asking questions. Too many have gone unanswered now. God will design to find their way. Love is wild and love is crazy. Placed into the wrong hands daily. I couldn't believe to this day. The days and nights they blend to one. The hours slow down to crawl. I'm looking for the Savior's Son. Has He come to save us all? I fell out of place for reasons I can't from myself by keeping lies floating around in my head. The days and nights they blend to one. The hours slow down to crawl. I'm looking for the Savior's Son. Has He come to save us all? I don't know where God is hiding me. I don't know what I'm to find. I don't know the words to say out loud to get you off my mind. The days and nights they blend to one. The hours slow down to grow. I'm looking for the Savior's Son as He comes to save our soul.
Awesome, Jeff. That was great. That was great. That was Jeff Wood. You're listening here on the Texas Music Spotlight. Jeff, I kind of wanted to talk about your music and stuff like that. Well, first off, how many albums do you actually have out right now?
Well, I sell 3 at my shows, CDs, like physical CD songs, but I have maybe 7 albums on iTunes and Google Play total, I think, and
Yeah,
that could be wrong.
yeah. Whenever
That's
yeah,
just a
whenever I
guess.
look up your name, there's tons of content and stuff out there. Where do you find all the inspiration and stuff for the lyrics and stuff like that, and the chord progressions, the sounds and stuff? Where do you find all that inspiration within you, or where out in the world? Yeah,
I'm just born with it. I don't know. I've been doing it for a long time, so it's it's old hat to me now. I like to pick up guitar, piano, or whatever instrument, and I like to just kind of fool around with sounds and just kind of figure it out what the song's saying to what I think it sounds like it's saying, and then I write the lyrics
yeah,
and melodies
that's
around
awesome.
it. So.
That's definitely a skill that not I don't think a whole lot of musicians have, for one, because just to be able to pick up an instrument and just start going and doing creating and stuff, that's a I think that's a real gift as a musician. And where can you find?
Yeah. Well, the first thing I tried to do, I didn't even try and learn other people's songs. I just wanted to start writing my own stuff.
Did you like learn the guitar on your own, or did you get lessons or anything like that?
I learned on my own. The very first guitar I ever had
Wow.
1 string on it, and then eventually I put 2 on, and then 3, and then I eventually put 6 on, and I probably played on that guitar for at least 5 months before I even learned how to tune it. But like I said, I picked up the guitar trying to make sounds, and I had some help along the way. I definitely had people saying, "Hey, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong." But other than that, it just it was for me, playing guitar was like a video game. It was just like you pass one level and then you want to move on to the next level, and it's a never-ending game. I mean, even to this day, every time I think I'm getting pretty good at guitar, all I gotta do is get on YouTube, and there's some little 12-year-old out there who can play circles around.
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, that's
level 60.
yeah, that's definitely a great way of thinking about it. That way, kind of like a video game. Just keep on going, and yeah, life as a musician you never stop growing, I suppose. Musicjeffwood.net, correct? That's your website where you can find everything. Musicjeffwood.net.
Yeah,
you can find all his albums and purchase them and look at his cool stuff that he has on there. He has a lot of all his.
looks like looks like you got a bunch of cool stuff.
Some guitars back there. You
I'm
can
seeing
see
guitars.
We can talk about some of that stuff
Yeah.
a little later. Well, the audio listeners can't see it, but there's a few guitars behind me and some fun stuff uh, to make music. Yeah. So with the music, what kind of have it's in you? What have you done with it? What do you want to work towards, and what do you use your music for? Like, is it for you? Is it a way of expression, or is it a way for you to connect with people? Um, yeah.
I first
Mm-hmm.
started playing music in a rock band, and we were a touring rock band. We flown to New York, played in front of record labels. It almost happened, then it didn't, and then I just started. At that point, just said, when we weren't on tour, I would go out and do these acoustic shows like I do now. And once the band broke up, I just said, I'm just gonna start doing this for a living. And honestly, of course, I want to write songs for other people to enjoy, but at the end of the day, I'm really just writing them for myself. And I've literally written hundreds and hundreds of songs. If not,
Wow.
it may very well be in the thousands by now. And there are tons of songs that people haven't even heard, and I have never even played for anyone, or I've written it and only played it once myself. And so it's really just for me. And it's like, I guess like a poet has to write poetry, I write songs. And just because whether there's an audience
Yeah.
or not,
Yeah.
I want to put it out there for myself to listen to in my car and pat
Yeah.
myself on the back and tell myself how great I
Some
am.
people want to like I make music as well, and whenever I tell people like, oh, I listen to myself, like they think that's kind of weird, but it's like, no, if you enjoy what you're doing, yeah, you're gonna listen to what you create, you know.
Well, honestly, most of the time when I listen to my music, it's like when I have a recording
Mhm.
studio, and that's where I am right now in my studio. And most of the time when I listen to my stuff, I'm listening to where I can improve it. And then after it's said and done, I'll put it away. Like if I make an album, I'll put it away and not listen to it for a really long time, because if I keep listening to it, I'll just continue to listen to it for mistakes or where I could have made it better. And after a while, over time, you can just go back and listen to it and say, that was a good song, without saying, oh, the guitar's too loud, or bass isn't loud enough, or the vocal should have been louder, or I should have done this or that. So that's usually what I'm doing. If I'm listening to my music, I'm either listening to it to try and make it better, or I'm going
Yeah,
back and listening
yeah,
to it to
definitely.
reminisce. Yeah.
Uh, where are where are you at right now? You said you're at your recording studio, but like, what city? Awesome. Me too.
Oh, I'm in
That's what I
San
figured.
Antonio. Where are you? Oh, you are? Okay.
I'm hearing an echo now. Is that? Oh, never mind. That's just gone. Okay,
Is
we can
there?
cut that. Whatever. Um, yeah. So how's for you and your experience? Um, how's the San Antonio music scene? And have you been able to get a lot of gigs? What do you like? What don't you like? Why don't you tell me about that?
I don't really feel
Yeah.
like a part of the San Antonio music scene, if I'm being complete. I mean, what I do is, I play a lot of vineyards and wineries and resorts and private parties, and I do some bars and restaurants too, but most of them aren't like, uh, I don't like when I do a show, I'll do a 4 hour show and it's by myself and there's no
Mhm.
other musicians opening or closing, and honestly, I moved to San Antonio about 5, 6 years ago. And so, I have made some musician friends. I have some really good ones out there, but we don't get to share a
Mhm.
stage ever, hardly ever. So it kind of gets a little lonely, and I definitely would like to break into the music scene a little. But what I do now is, like I said, I write music for myself, but
Yeah.
I go out and play the shows to pay the
Yeah.
bills.
Definitely.
This is what
And
I do for a living.
we actually or actually found you through Laura Marie. She was our very first
Yeah,
artist that we had on way back in January, and we kind of asked.
yeah, I had it on my
Yeah,
kids
yeah,
too.
definitely.
She's a
And
great musician.
so you sort of like worked with her before? Are you friends?
Yeah, we did this show for a guy at a birthday party. He hired another guy and her and me, and we would like take turns
Hmm.
playing like 20-minute sets. And then at the end of the night, we all got together and just jammed on simple, easy songs that we all three knew and could pull off. And yeah, we made a connection there, and she like I said, she's a real good musician, and I really like her songs, and so
Yeah, definitely.
we've kind
Shout
of
out
hit it
to
off, I guess.
Laura Marie, doing it big. So what? How like what birthday party was that for? That sounds like a lot of fun. Was it for like an older crowd?
I don't even remember his name, and he ripped me off too. He was supposed
Oh
to pay
wow.
me the amount of money, and he didn't. And but I got another gig coming up real soon, and it's gonna be even better, and it's gonna pay. So I you know,
Yeah, yeah,
I tried to be professional about it, and
yeah,
I did.
definitely.
I wanted to punch him in his mouth.
I mean, yeah, that happens way too often. You see musicians, people getting short change, and I'm sure you've run into your own quarrels and stuff like that, stories and all that.
Story
Uh,
today.
but yeah, definitely we got to band together as musicians and kind of just we're an actual art. We're essential to a party or something like that. Like we gotta yeah. That's my two
Yeah.
cents. Anyways.
Well, I felt like that party we played, we were just background noise, and I don't think I even said this to Laura, but I was like, what are we even doing here? It almost felt like we were ornaments, like look
Yeah.
at my
Oh,
money,
okay.
look what I can
Now I kind of
afford,
see
and then I'm
what kind of birthday party that is. All right.
it was an art
Oh,
museum. If
wow.
that tells you anything. This guy,
Yeah, yeah. Did you get free
he
drinks
was
at
showing
least?
off a little bit. There was no alcohol there. Well, there was,
Oh,
but
okay.
I was more interested in the food. They did
Yeah,
have
that's
some
awesome.
good food there. I'll give them that.
All right. So you run your own podcast. Why don't you tell me a little bit about that? I saw it on your website and stuff like that. What kind of genres do you talk about?
Yeah, I just got to thinking, like, I was talking about how I have all these songs, and I wanted to I've written so many songs that if I don't do something with them, they'll just disappear when I die. And I don't know how long, podcasts are going to last. I personally love podcasts, but I wanted to put my songs out there in some kind of digital form so that they had some sort of life, and I didn't just bury them in my computer and never. So what I do is every once in a while I'll put out a podcast where I just play. I'll go through my computer and it's like, oh, I haven't heard that song in a long time. And if it's a decent song, even if it's not a decent song, even if it's just crappy recording quality, but for whatever reason at that moment in time it touches me, I'll just throw it up on so people can listen to it. Like I said, to me, it's just more important to just put those songs out there so that they don't die. And on top of that, I every once in a while I'll do interviews with people like Laura and a couple other musicians that I've played with over the years, or that my band played with back in the day, or whatever, or just people that kind of helped me as a musician growing up. So I'll do slash unreleased songs and then slash interviews sort of things, just to get those out there too and help those musicians get their music heard by the tens of hundreds of fans I
Yeah,
have.
definitely. That sounds awesome. You can check all that out at musicjeffwood.net. He has all that stuff and his podcast links and all that on his website. Um, so you have all these albums, all this music and stuff. How have you changed as a musician with your sort of genre? I know some of it's like country, sort of pop influences and stuff like that. How has it changed? If I mean, you say you listen to your old stuff sometimes, and do you ever listen to it and be like, "Whoa, what? That's totally different." Yeah.
I was horrible back then. Yeah, I do.
So how
All the
has it
time.
changed since the very beginning, and how are you right now, and where do you think you're going to go musically?
When I first started writing music, I was, I think I started playing guitar around Pearl Jam and Nirvana era. So it was very angry. It was very eclectic. I tried to be, as weird as they were trying to be, or whatever you want to call it. I think over the years, and then when I was in my rock band, it was a collaborative effort. I would bring a song to the table, and then they would all write their parts around it. And then when the band broke up, I started, just trying to figure out how I could write songs just acoustically so I could go out and play shows. And then, like I said, I got a studio, and then I started incorporating, all these instruments back into my music. I think I've just gotten sharper at it. I think when I get an idea going, I know how to get to it a lot quicker. I know how to get to what it's trying to say to me a lot faster. And I think I've been doing this for 21 years. If I'm not getting better at this, then I should probably hang it up. I mean, I'm not saying, there are songs that I wrote back when I was probably, 21 years old that are better than anything I've written now. But there are songs that I'm writing now that, squash some of those other songs that I wrote when I was 21 years old. It's just, you find some days you write something that will outlast the other songs, and some days you don't. You just keep trying. But as long as you keep sharpening that sword, it's going to get better and better.
So you talked about you creating music alone by yourself, introducing all these instruments and stuff like that. You had a rock band before. Do you find it easier to make music alone and just have your ideas, or would you rather have some more input? Or do you ever go out and say, hey, I'm having problems with this one little thing. I don't know how to go from here. I need some help. Do you ever do that?
No, I've never asked anyone to collaborate with me, if that's what you mean. I really do miss writing in a band. I miss being in that garage or that basement and like finding that thing together and writing it, and then like taking a break and going inside and sitting around and talking about how awesome that thing was. And then I do miss the camaraderie of writing songs with people. But I was in a rock band, so we only wrote rock songs. Whereas now, like you said, I write some country stuff. I write blues stuff. I still write rock stuff. I try and write anything, and now I have more of a blank canvas where I can just do whatever I want. And so on one end, it does cheapen the moment writing a song by yourself when no one's around to appreciate it with you. But at the same time, you don't have to get in arguments with other people about it if they don't like what you're. There's another side of that where it's like, when you're writing songs with other people, it can turn into a heated thing because everyone in the songwriting process can be pretty passionate about it. And they may not agree with whatever inspiration you're going through.
Everybody has their own idea where it needs to go in their head, and sometimes that doesn't, coincide with the person next to you. And yeah, definitely. Let's go ahead and get you to play another song. What do you have prepared for us?
But usually, I'm going to tune up real quick. Usually when I do these kind of things, I try and play songs that would be on the radio and something that would help me sell more CDs, I guess is a good way of putting it. But I decided I'm going to play songs that I really enjoy playing. When you asked me to do this podcast, I was like, I'm just going to play songs that I really like and that I really enjoy playing at my shows. And this is probably one of my favorites to do. This one's called Life's a Bitch. Ain't life a bitch? She'll cut you down to size. Ain't life a bitch? She'll cut you down to size. Don't turn your back on her. She'll run you down if you try. I used to have this girl burnt brighter than the sun. She painted up my world and burned it down for fun. Ain't life a bitch? She'll cut you down to size. Don't turn your back on her. She'll run you down if you try. like a bitch. She loves to turn on a dime. Ain't like a bitch. She loves to turn on a dime. Don't trust a word you've heard. She hurts as bad as she lies. Now that girl's roaming the streets with bad intentions in hand, and it occurs to me, I feel bad for her next man. Ain't like a bitch. She loves to turn on a dime. Don't trust a word you've heard. She hurts as bad as she lies. Don't trust a word you've heard. She hurts as bad as she lies.
Awesome, man. That was great. Yeah. And you like, yeah, that's a really good song. I really like it. You can go ahead and check out Jeff Wood and all his dates on musicjeffwood.net. And you can listen to him here right now on the Texas Music Spotlight. So right now I'm going to do a little segment that we like to do called the Texas Two-Step. And it's asking 2 questions that have nothing to do with music. And they're written on cards. Boop, boop, boop. Right there. So you said you traveled a little bit. I read in your bio that you haven't worked, or you weren't born here in Texas. Where is the farthest that you have traveled, and what food would you like to bring to San Antonio, if you could?
Furthest I traveled was probably New York City.
What food would you like to bring
what food would I what?
from there, I guess, New York City to San Antonio? What do you wish they had more of here?
When I was there, I was actually playing for a record label, and they took us to this 5-star restaurant where the appetizers alone cost $500. So I guess I would take that whole meal that I had that night, and I'd take it back to Texas, and I'd freeze it, and then I'd try and sell it because it was so expensive.
Are they just like trying to show off or something? Or they're like, yeah, just take it. Yeah.
Oh. I'm going to admit I did something that most people, I'm probably going to lose some fans by saying this. But remember, this was years and years ago.
You ordered what? What was that?
Night.
Oh, no.
I ate a baby cow.
Was it?
Yeah. But that was
You're a different person.
I've changed people.
Okay, well, did the Jeff a long time ago enjoy it, or?
I couldn't tell you honestly. I was more worried about what was going to come with the record labels and all that stuff. I don't even know how much of it I ate, and what I did, I think I spit it out. People.
Yeah, he didn't like it. Don't listen to Jeff from a long time ago. No. Second question: what was your favorite pastime as a child? What was something that you enjoyed to do? Maybe a sport or something weird, crazy.
Well, the way my mom tells it, I used to want to be a preacher. I used to want to be a professional soccer player. I definitely wanted to be a professional basketball player, but then I realized I wasn't very good at that. And then after that, I used to write short stories, and then I realized I wasn't very good at that either. I've kind of directed my old writing skills into, if you go on my website, I have a blog and I write about some of my music stories and stuff that's gone on throughout my music career. You said that this was not going to be about music, and I keep turning it back to music.
I know music's a big part of people's lives whenever they are musicians for a living, and just.
But I'd say basketball was my. I used to have the same kind of passion for basketball that I do music. I would, while most of my friends were out partying, I was in my driveway shooting baskets, thinking I was going to be the next Michael Jordan.
Yeah, and a preacher and a soccer player. You said that's quite. You're a busy person, a busy kid.
I wasn't very busy.
Yeah, there you
go. With a very active imagination.
Awesome. That was the Texas Two-Step, and that was Jeff Wood. Jeff, thank you for being on the podcast. It was pretty cool. Yeah, definitely.
It's
You
fun.
heard Jeff play some music. If you like his music, you can find him all on iTunes and stuff like that. Jeffwood.net, and he has tons of music for you. You can tell already with the two songs that he just played. They're pretty different, and I'm sure he has a song for you that you'd enjoy. Um,
Yeah. And I bet there's at least
yeah,
one that you'll say that's a good
out of
song.
the hundreds, just listen to all of them, and then you're gonna find one. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been Jules the Human, and this is the Texas Music Spotlight. Remember, you can catch us every Wednesday for our live music podcast. We release our Imagine Sessions podcast on Thursday, and we release this music or live music podcast on Friday. Thanks, guys, and hope you have a good night.